Hello there, pool sharks. Welcome back to I Dream of Indie. This is Ole Gamer Joe here with another review today. We're looking at Pure Pool on the Nintendo Switch, available as of November 17th of 2020. The game is normally priced at $14.99. At the time of this review, there is a bit of a discount if you pre-order it for $11.99. This is a game that goes all the way back to 2014, where it was released on the PlayStation 4, the Steam PC platform, and it did eventually also go to the Xbox platform. Pure Pool comes from developer Vufu Studios and was published by Ripstone Publishing. This was kind of a strange review for me because when I started playing Pure Pool on the Nintendo Switch, I realized I did play this game back when it came out. All of that aside, I'll be the first one to admit to you that I'm not very good at pool in real life. I do enjoy playing it, and I'm not necessarily great at video game pool either, even though I also enjoy that. But I do have to say, as far as the pool games I have played, Pure Pool definitely does the best job of emulating the game of pool. And while I'm more of a classic 8-ball guy myself, Pure Pool here does give you quite a few different options in terms of how you want to play. There's classic 8-ball, you have 9-ball, you also have black ball, and you have killer. I was obviously mostly familiar with 8-ball, but it was fun to learn about the other modes at the least. I'm always a fan of options, and Pure Pool gives you a good amount of them. As far as modes go, you have a quick game, which will get you right into the action, a player 1 versus player 2 mode, which is exactly what it sounds like. You can play with a friend, you can start your own league, there's also free play, and you can practice the game offline. I have to say, the way that the menus are integrated with the online features of this title are really well done. I remember that being the case back on the PlayStation 4, and that's still true on the Nintendo Switch. It's easy to find opponents and jump right into online play if you so wish, but it's equally easy to play the game offline. No sports game is complete, however, without a career mode, and Pure Pool, of course, does feature a pretty robust one where you'll go through a variety of different matches, all the way from amateur to master, eventually becoming a complete pool shark. Well, that's the goal anyways. If you do battle your way through this career mode, you'll eventually unlock more and more cues. That's a nice little touch, but honestly, just playing the game is fun enough, but the added incentive is welcome. You have quite a few different options in Pure Pool as far as how you actually want to play the game. That includes using the Nintendo Switch Pro controller, the Joy-Cons if you so wish, or if you're in the handheld mode, even using the touchscreen controls, which are surprisingly pretty effective. Should you decide to go the controller route, you'll be relying on the right stick quite a bit, and you'll have to be careful because the amount of tension that you apply will dictate how hard you hit the ball. It honestly can take a little bit of getting used to, and it will certainly frustrate you here from time to time, but for the most part it is a fun and interactive way to play the game. That's how I remembered playing it on the PlayStation as well. If you're really wanting to get fancy, you can apply a little bit of spin, and you can also fine aim your shots. You are able to tell which direction the ball is going to be hit in depending on your distance from it, and this helps you to make some of those tricky pocket shots. Another cool little feature is the ability to get up and look around the table to get a better idea for how the table is laid out and what shot you want to make next. But that's really about all there is to it as far as if you're playing with a controller. If you decide to go for the handheld mode, it's a little bit different if you so wish. You can play this way with the Joy-Cons attached, but you can also utilize the touchscreen, which has mixed results in my opinion. I found that actually striking the ball by using the touchscreen was pretty effective, but aiming it and moving your stick around the screen was a little bit more difficult. So I almost found myself using this weird combination of the Joy-Cons to angle my shot correctly, and then using the swipe touchscreen in order to strike the ball. It worked pretty well though, I enjoyed it, it's entertaining. Lastly, there is one more option. I unfortunately wasn't able to test this one, but you can use both Joy-Cons in multiplayer matches to play 2-player that way. So tons of control options here, making this a really customizable and enjoyable version of Pure Pool. Graphically, Pure Pool was an excellent looking game back when it came out. The tables looked photorealistic, and that's actually still the case. This is a title that's aged really well, and it performs quite well on the Nintendo Switch as well. The only time I noticed any sort of hitches with this title were when you were transitioning from the challenge room table to the main table. You would get a few hiccups of the frame rate here or there, but it didn't affect the gameplay whatsoever. That was really my only complaint as far as performance goes. The gameplay was smooth, the graphics look excellent, still photorealistic at times. And yes, you do take a little bit of a hit when you're playing in handheld mode as you would expect, but it doesn't look half bad. But when you are docked, you get a nice clean 1080p image and everything runs great. The backdrop gives you the feeling that you're in a sophisticated, nice pool lounge, which I really miss that atmosphere right now. I don't know how you feel. But also the soundtrack that accompanies this game is very fitting of the setting. Some nice lounge tunes here, some jazzy pieces. Works really well for a game of pool. I enjoyed it, and the tracks are constantly shifting and switching out, so it works really effectively. I also think the sound effects are excellent here. It almost sounds exactly like a real game of pool when you strike the ball and everything scatters across. Really well done. Great presentation in Pure Pool as far as the table goes, the look of the game, the sound effects. It all comes together beautifully to emulate the pool experience. If you are looking for a nice pool game to play on the go or docked on your Nintendo Switch, then definitely check out Pure Pool. It's a really great title even today. I know it came out back in 2014, but it's still really playable. It holds up surprisingly well. I mean, it wasn't that long ago when you think about it. But no, the graphics are great, the gameplay is fun, you have a good amount of options as far as how you want to play it, and plenty of challenges and different modes to go through that will keep you busy for a long time. So if you are a fan of pool, don't miss out on this one. It's a really great addition to your Switch library. So will you be checking out Pure Pool on the Nintendo Switch? Let us know down in the comments section below, and if you have enjoyed our video coverage today, consider hitting that subscribe button. It helps us to bring a voice to the voiceless ones in gaming. There are a ton of other ways to support I Dream of Indie right down in the description box below. That includes becoming a channel member or maybe even checking out our merchandise. However you end up supporting I Dream of Indie, we thank you so much and we'll see you soon.